Now we hear about superheroes all the time. Now I got a real life superhero friend and neighbor, Edwina. There was a stabbing incident that happened in Greensboro a few days ago where 2 were stabbed and hospitalized. But I gotta tell you the backstory on that. I used to live right there in that same section. There was a guy living there named Patrick. Patrick was the type of guy. He was taking some kind of medicine. I don't know what for. I don't know what his diagnosis was. He was definitely on one. When I used to bring my box truck home, he used to come outside and take pictures of the box truck. Then he told the neighbor he thought the feds or somebody was in the box truck trying to look for him or something like that. Making a long story short, he used to complain about kids playing in front of his house, balls being bounced, people coming up in his porch, knocking on his door, running, all kinds of things. He was just that guy in the neighborhood where parents would always say, stay away from that joker. But the kids would always be like, messing with him. He lives next door to a neighbor that has 3 kids. So those are the first line of kids that he's always aggravated with because they right next door. So there's one particular day, the kids were outside playing the ball. Now I'm not sure if the ball hit his door or whatever, but he came outside. So he starts arguing with the kid, and then he went to argue with the mother. I'm not sure what triggered it. He hit her phone into her face. Now the video shows the 11 or 12-year-old son jumping on Patrick, boxing him, giving him the business. Bop, 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 bop. The mother starts screaming. Father comes outside. He sees his son on top of Patrick. So the father was basically trying to defuse the situation by pulling his son off of him. Patrick got up. He got up with they believed to be a knife. He went directly after the father. At this time, father is screaming, help. My friend, who I call the superhero, Edwina, she hears the help. So she's like, let me go to the door and see what's happening. When she comes to the door, she opens the door. Oh, right there in front of her face, she see this guy stabbing the neighbor. So she immediately screams and says, stop! Patrick, with the knife in hand, turns to her. He starts walking in her direction. Like he's saying, oh, you gonna scream? You gonna try to stop this? I'm gonna stop you. She closes the door immediately. Bam! He goes over there and commits to stabbing the dude. The wife says, let me go save my husband. She starts running over there. Now, by the time she gets to her husband, Patrick turns his attention to her, stabs her in the neck. Whole time, Edwina's still looking out the window and she's calling the police at the same time. As she's saying to the police, they're stabbing him and everything, she notices woman has now been stabbed. Now, Edwina is a nurse practitioner, and she's also a Navy vet. So now all of the fear that she had from this guy with this knife has now went out the window. She goes into life-saving, no fear energy. She can see from her door, this lady has now been stabbed, blood is gushing out of her neck. She automatically runs out the door, springs into action, goes to this lady, put her arm around her, stop the neck from bleeding. Patrick is still dealing with stabbing the husband. Fear is gone. She starts to scream at the dude with the knife. Get away from him, stop. So Patrick sees now, here's this black woman saving the day, no fear. Police has already been called and they're on their way. So he backs up because now she's screaming, get back, don't come this way, don't come over here. So this is where all of the real superhero stuff really kicks in because the husband is saying, I'm bleeding. So Edwina is telling him what to do. She's telling the kids to stay over there. She's holding this lady's neck at the same time while the lady's saying, please don't let me die in front of my kids. Make a long story short, the police got there, ambulance got there, and if it wasn't for Edwina springing into action, that man would have still been stabbing that family until they were dead. That woman would have bled out, and it could have got worse because after he'd finished with the parents, he probably would have transferred that energy to the kids. So big up, Edwina, straight up superhero. They both lived to see another day. Say to us TV, let's go.